Morning, um, good evening, good afternoon. Um, Welcome to SKTV. Welcome to each and every one of you. We want to welcome you to today's edition of Mental Health and Wellness. We want to welcome each and every one of you. Welcome, welcome to the show. Today is Friday, May 6, 2022. Um, Welcome to the show. Help us to share the show. Today we are talking about the last stage, which is integrity versus despair. Today we are going to be talking about integrity versus despair. We want to welcome each and every one of you to today's edition. Um, Very interesting stage, very interesting age group. So we want to bring everything to your attention. Very, 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 very interesting. So we want to welcome each and every one of you to the show. In the meantime, let's have you share the show. Let's have you share the show. Let's invite someone. We are ready to have this conversation today. Integrity versus despair. Very interesting topic as we close up on this topic. I want to encourage you to please share the show. Invite someone. Talk to someone about the conversation here today. Very interesting topic. Really quick, before we go on to sharing the show from my end and inviting other people, we'll play two songs. Before we go on doing that, we want to ensure that we make the disclaimer really quick. Let's do that. Let's make the disclaimer as we always do on every show. So here's the disclaimer. This is not for counseling purposes in no way, shape, or form. This is meant for educational purposes and informational purposes, not for therapy. This is not a counseling session because you have not, or a psychological evaluation for anyone, because you did not sign up for anything. You did not sign any disclosure or so forth. So no. Another disclaimer is please no profanity. You have the right to disagree with us or agree with us. No cussing, please. No cussing. No cussing. Please and please. Don't cuss, please. We can disagree respectfully. We can disagree with one another. Let's do that as opposed to cussing. Another part also of the disclaimer is no politics. You want to talk political talk, wait for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays. Fridays, no politics at all. No politics, please. So please keep all politics away from here. We might give examples or talk about some reliable things or real things that are happening within the political arena. We might do that as an example, but it doesn't mean we're going to discuss politics. So no politics at all, please and please. Another thing that I want to make here as disclaimer is please no drama. If you have disagreement with somebody, you can take it out somewhere else. No drama on here. You don't like somebody, they're here, please just bear for the 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes or 1 hour 15 minutes that will be here, please. No drama, please. Last disclaimer also, if you call at any point to participate and we do take your call, just note that we cannot guarantee any privacy or confidentiality. That means anything you say on here, you will be held fully liable and responsible for whatever you say, because they will be your own words, not mine. And there is no way I can protect that from saying other people might not take and share your information that you share here, because this is an open space. This is a public forum, so we don't control the dissemination of information. So I want to be clear about that. So with that being said, let's get here quick to the musical break as we share the show, and we'll no copyright to these songs. Again, we'll play 2 songs really quick, really quick, and get on to the conversation quick. In the meantime, help us to share the show, please. Thank you.
Love.
Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me.
Bombe oh, find a friend like me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me.
Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie la bestie. Find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Find a friend like me. I hear them say they want me go. I say
Some of them say they want me go.
I say
Some friends yelling ah oh ah oh ah oh. Some friends yelling ah oh ah oh ah oh. Some friends yelling ah oh ah oh ah. Friends yelling ah oh ah oh. Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie la bestie. Find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Find a friend like me. They won't step on my blessing, but God get it breaking, yeah. They won't call it my blessing, but God get it breaking, yeah.
Friendship, see friendship. Can't see Papa T friendship. And I want no back for friendship. And I want no wedding friendship. Wangolo, Wango for bestie, Wango for daddy, Wangolo.
I hear them say they want me go. I say I hear them say they want me go. I say
Some friends yelling ah oh ah oh ah oh oh. Some friends yelling ah oh ah oh ah oh. Some friends yelling ah oh ah oh ah oh. Friends yelling ah oh ah oh ah. Hey, see bestie, your bestie not friend but my bestie. Your bestie la bestie. Find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Find a friend like me.
DJ Young T.
You got funny leg, Johnny. You funny. Yeah. it.
You don't even know my story. You don't even know your story, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know on the beat, I be a loca. So moral. You post a new car on Facebook, but that's so la la. You working better, bluffing and acting jealous, say you photo. My advice for you, in my way, I got to confess. Confession, you gotta confess. You must stop the impression. Enjoyment, got your blessing. Enjoyment, no more stressing. Enjoyment, got your blessing. Enjoyment, no more stressing.
It's never gonna be another man trash, just another man treasure. Another man fool was another man poison. Got your good, according to your measurement. Got your good, according to your measurement. The player ain't garish, and they play you booty. Just because so impression, impression, fake impression, impression, yeah. You don't even know my story, or you want to share my glory, oh yeah. Everywhere you my way, oh way, oh. Everywhere you my way, oh way, oh. Every touch you my way, oh way, oh.
Enjoyment, got your blessing. Enjoyment, no more stressing. Enjoyment, got your blessing. Enjoyment, no more stressing. Yeah. The hammer you driving, nothing into keke. This a ballin'. The thing that we talking, they must stay right here. Stop spoiling my me. I'm living my life, oh. See, I'm living my life, oh. If you pay you, hey, oh, hey, oh. If you hold you, hey, oh, hey, oh. If you hate you, hey, oh, hey, oh. If you pay you, hey, oh. You don't even know my story. Enjoyment,
Oh my god, you're cute.
Enjoyment, no more stressing. Enjoyment, got your blessing. Enjoyment, no more stressing.
Well, welcome back. Let's get started as promised. Today we'll skim through things really quick. As you are already aware, today starts the last edition of what we have been speaking about for a couple of weeks now. And so today marks one of the last stages in our lives. And that is the 8th stage, is entitled Integrity versus Despair. But just before we get into integrity versus despair, it's important for us to understand and remind ourselves what mental health is, what it really means. Because some people could say it's relative. Yes, you could have a point. If you were to say it is relative, you could have a point, most definitely so. But we also have to go back to it and understand what it means, so that it can be applicable if we say it is relative. So I give you an example. One person's mental health could be, or one person's mental issues they could be facing could be depression. Another person's issue they could be facing could be diagnosed as maybe they're having psychosis, as evidenced by auditorial and visual hallucination. So in simple terms, what it means, give me a second, please. Sorry about that. So in simple terms, what it means is the diagnosis, psychosis, pretty much it means, let me say in our African or our Liberian terminology, it means something is not right. The person's acting crazy or they're getting crazy, So, but then in order to support that evidence, so what are some signs and symptoms the person is demonstrating? So we say as evidence by, auditory hallucination, which means they tell you that they're hearing voices and the voices telling them to kill themselves, kill the other person, hurt themselves, or whatever it is, or the voices telling them to do this or do that. On the contrary, we also have, apart from auditory hallucination, we will have visual hallucination, which means they're seeing things that you might not see or I might not see, but they're telling you that it is there. So you see the difference as opposed to anxiety, which sometimes the factors cannot be known why the person is anxious, but there are triggering factors. There are things that are causing them to be anxious. And so all of these different things, when we put them into context, it's important for us to understand this. So it's important to understand what mental health is. So according to the World Health Organization, mental health simply means, it includes emotional. So mind you, when we talk about depression, we talk about anxiety, all these emotional things. So it has to do with emotion, such as, maybe your love life, your children, people you are connected to from an emotional standpoint. So when things don't go well, they tend to impact your emotion, which evidently would impact your mental health. So you see how they work. And then your psychological well-being, includes your psychological state of mind, where you are, mentally from a psychological standpoint. Are you making the right decisions? Are you doing things? Are you acting the way you'll be acting at a certain age? Are you living or behaving a certain way? Are you dressing or, dressing so that, for example, the sun, it can be in the summer and you got on winter clothes. That's a sign that something is not right with you mentally because you're not understanding the different weather or the temperature. You're not dressing accordingly. So you see all these different things. So another part also is social well-being, how you behave, socially amongst people. Are you awkward? Do you like to do too much? Let me put it that way. Do you like to show off? Are you attention seeking? Are you a narcissist? Is everything about you or should be about you? And when it's not about you, then, you got problems. You throw tantrums. You act up. Are you acting your age? But also, mental health also, it helps, once you're mentally okay, it also helps determine how you act. It helps determine how you act. So such as how you handle stress, because mind you, things like stress, they're a normal part of our lives. There are different factors that can lead to stress, that can cause stress, but they're a normal part of our lives. Normal things will make, stress to happen or so forth. Things that sometimes you might not be the cause of. Maybe you went to the store, there's a long line or traffic, you start stressing on it because you got to be to work at a certain time and the traffic is too much and you can't get there at a certain time. So all of these different things. So also, your mental health can also help you determine some of the choices that you make, such as healthy choices, as opposed to unhealthy choices, such as safe choices as opposed to unsafe choices. So it helps you make healthy choices as well. Once you're mentally stable, you're able to make healthy choices. Now, on the contrary, if you're not mentally stable and you cannot make healthy choices, then other people would have to step in and make those choices or those decisions for you. And that's what you don't want. There are some grown-ups over 18 where the state, the government, and other people make decisions for them because they're deemed mentally unfit or stable enough to make those decisions. So it's not about your age. It's about you being mentally stable enough to be able to make those decisions. So mental health is important also at every stage of your life. So every stage of our lives, our mental health is very important. It should be our priority. It should be something that we pay more attention to, focus on, and very, very important. So fast forward, let's move on to something else. So the question becomes then, why is mental health important? Because somebody might ask, everything you've just said, what makes this entire mental health thing important? Why is it important to my life or to me or so forth? So just to clarify that, as you can see, there's a blue picture on the side. It should be on the right corner of your screen. Mental health is important for a lot of different things. Your intellectual abilities, your ability to interact with other people, your emotional or spiritual abilities, social, economic, or physical ability. Mental health is very important for that because it impacts all of that. We've talked about it before. Mental health will get you to be okay in the head, to make certain decisions or to see through things, so they impact your well-being at every level or at all levels of your life, so it's critically important, but also your mental health is also important to the point wherein, it impacts I'd say your medical conditions, such as, mental health issues can lead to stroke, diabetes, heart disease, some of these different things, and chronic mental health conditions can increase different things in us, very much so, because another thing that we don't normally pay attention to is people, having suicidal thoughts or ideation. Another thing that we don't talk about is also the ability for people to live substance free, where you're not addicted to substance, you're not taking something, or all of these different factors make mental health, overly important. So let's move forward. So some people will ask, what are some of the causes of mental illness? There are a lot of different things. Everybody's different. There's not one thing we can pin on, like we've always said. For some people, they're predisposed to something, such as, and I like to give the example, some mothers or some parents, whether father or mother, they predispose their children to drugs when they're young. Mothers are drinking when they're pregnant. It has an impact. You're predisposing that child. A lot of different things can lead to mental illness. A lot of different things. So we've been able to narrow down some of them. Last time we talked to you about drugs or alcohol. They can contribute to that biological factor or chemical imbalances in the brain. And sometimes some of these things, their natural causes, maybe the child did not receive enough oxygen during birth or during pregnancy or whatever it is, either caused by stress or other factors or whatever now, or just, naturally, or, some children premature, and so they're not having proper care and it starts to affect them or whatever now. Things like isolation, depression, and loneliness can impact mental health as well. Other medical conditions, they can impact mental health as well. They can create mental illness. Experience of trauma, history of abuse, whether it's sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional, mental, or so forth. or maybe just witnessing violence that you haven't gotten over with, or you've not been able to walk past, or navigate through, or you don't have the coping mechanism to help you. So all of these different things can impact mental health, or can create mental illness. And there are some maybe that I didn't name. You might be aware of some of these factors. So let's move on forward. We have been talking about this older gentleman for a while, Erik Erikson. We told you who he was and what he did in his contribution to whether that's psychology, whether that's mental health, or whatever it is, played a big role. Erik Erikson played a very, very big role in our lives. And as time goes by, we will use some of his work to have some of these conversations, to see how they're relatable, to make some connections, and so forth. So, but part of his work was what we see here, the 8 stages of psychosocial development, or some people will say human growth and development, the 8 stages of it. Today we are at the 8th stage, which is the last stage. And if we don't finish this today, we'll finish next week. After that, we'll be done with these stages. And you have the basic understanding of some things as we get into some deeper conversations, because we will get into some deeper conversations for you to understand how the human mind works and why you are acting the way you are acting. And you can refer to these, at these different stages. So but today, for the sake of this conversation, we are on integrity versus despair. Now, today you will get to understand what integrity is in the context of, social development or human growth and development, not necessarily morality or values and so forth, but yet moralities, values, and all of these different factors can also contribute to integrity and despair as well. And we'll talk about despair as well, so you can see what these stages bring to the table, or why they are like that, and all of that. But let's move on just a little more. So now the question now becomes, what do we expect in this stage? What are some of the things that we have to expect in this stage? As you can see in the back end, you will see older people. At some stage, the expectation of our lives, the expectation is we'll grow older to either pass some of these people you see in the back, or maybe not reach for some people, they might not reach their ages and they will pass on. They will die. Let me say it that way. And that's one of the biggest, or that's one of the issues with this stage. In this stage, not only that you get older, but there are a lot of things that play into factor here. You'll die. Let me put it that way. I know a lot of people, why are you saying that? But that's just the fact of the matter, and we all understand that. We all know that at some point in time, death is inevitable and it must happen. So let's move on just a little more. In this stage, it starts at about 65 years old, approximately around 65. Now, pay attention to this stage very carefully, because there are a lot of things that can happen. Most of us who are 30, 20s, don't worry, you're getting there. You'll work your way through here. Those of you who are 40s, 50s, you are gradually working your way here. You can't avoid this. The same way how you cannot avoid when we started our first trust versus mistrust, where people are born, or the mother is pregnant, and childbirth and so forth. This cannot be avoided, just so you're aware. Integrity versus despair, also in this stage, it begins as aging adult begins to tackle problem of his or her morality. So in this stage now, people start to reflect on themselves. They start to think about their lives. They start to think about things that they did right, things that they didn't do right. So that struggle, they start to reflect. Because at this stage now, you probably don't, you are not as hot as before, you are not as sexy as before, you are not, whatever term you have for yourself. But in this stage, you're more, the expectation is you're more mellow, you're laid back. But in this stage also, one of the big expectations is you are able to take care of yourself, whether financially or whatever it is, or you've created an avenue wherein somebody can take care of you. So you see, so this stage is very critical. But before you get to this stage, now it's important for you to go back and look as to how you work your way to come to this stage. Because this stage is not a magical stage. This age is not a coincidental age. So that means you must have laid some foundations to be able to get to this stage wherein you could live comfortably. Or at this stage, I've seen some people that are homeless. Some people are suffering. Some people have no one, So this stage is important, very important. A lot of things happening in this stage. A lot of things are going on in this stage. And the expectation is in this stage, people would normally, the expectation would be people will be taken care of. They'll have that support system. They'll have the income. Things will go well for them, but not necessarily truth. So let's see what happens in this stage, because it's important for us to know. The onset of this stage is often triggered by life events such as retirement. In this stage, the expectation is you will be retired. Sometimes I see older people who are 70, 65, still working. It speaks volumes sometimes, even though it could be some of them, it could be their personal choices. But in most cases, they're either trying to make up or catch up for certain things. The loss of, sometimes in this stage, you love wife, husband, significant other, however you want to term them. Sometimes you lose friends, acquaintances in this stage. Sometimes people get really sick in this stage. They have terminal illness. And in other times, people also are in this stage, there's major change in life role. So there's major change in the life in this stage. And it's now uncommon. It is now uncommon. It's something that would happen in this stage. During the integrity versus despair stage, people reflect back on life they have lived and come away with either a sense of fulfillment of life well lived or a sense of regret and despair over life misspent. So yes, so people, a lot of different things are going on. It's either you're at this stage, it's either you're really regretting about the decisions, some of the decisions that you made, some of the choices that you made, and some things that you did, or you feel fulfilled because you've done some things that were good or that were right, that are benefiting or that are paying off today. Such as, for example, in some cases, you raise your children, you care for them, and these things are reciprocated. The children pay back. They stay there to care for you. They're there for you to take care of you, to do everything. So you see, so it's a process, it's a cycle, as opposed to other people who might abandon their children. The children don't know them. Now they reach this stage where they're looking, or they fight with a family member. They have no relationships with other people, whatever. Now they've been, when they were much younger and stronger, they've lived loosely, spent all of their money. They have nowhere to live. They have nothing to show for, whatever. They get to this stage now, they start to regret on those decisions. Maybe if I had known, I would have spent more time taking care of my children so that today they could help me. So you see, these different factors come into play. So to some of the younger people who are making some of the sacrifices you're making today for your children to keep that relationship, that bond with family members and friends and other people, it's good. It's a good thing, because some way, somehow, at some point in your life, it would pay off down the line. So it's not a waste. It's not a waste. Let me put it that way. It is not a waste. So it's important for us to know some of these things. It is not a waste. So then the bigger question becomes now, what is integrity? Because most of the time people have different interpretation of integrity. So what is integrity in itself, especially in the context of mental health and wellness? We got to think about it. So let's not restrict integrity to morality here. Yet morality has a role to play. Let's not just restrict it to that. Let's not restrict integrity to that. Let's look at integrity. What is integrity from a psychological standpoint, from a mental health standpoint, from a social, global, from a religious standpoint, from a moral or value standpoint or cultural standpoint. So let's look at integrity. So integrity refers to a person's ability to look back on their life with a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. So you see, so you see how it looks like. You look back at your life in this stage, and you feel a sense of fulfillment or accomplishment. You do. Just looking back at the things that you did, some of the sacrifices you've made, you might overlook them. But looking back now, when you are in this stage of life where you can reflect on some of the choices and the decision that you made, as opposed to other people, you would probably feel accomplished. Because if you were to look back, why other people were prioritizing certain things, you are prioritizing certain things such as your children, their well-being, their education, doing everything you can. Some of you work 2 jobs. Some of you can't rest. You're working to ensure that your children have roof on their head. Some of you are not into those extra chasing the father around for child support or whatever it is. And again, please don't get me wrong. That won't be your choice. You got to make that call. Some of you are doing all you can. You are the mother, you are the father. Some of you are the father, you are the mother. You're the breadwinner. You're doing everything you can. You are there. You come from work. You help your children with their homework. You pick them up from daycare or whoever is watching them. You take them home. You have to do the homework. You go back to sleep in the morning. Same routine. Saturdays and Sundays, you got no time to go chill with your girls or with your boys. You are investing in your children. You are taking them out. You're doing other things. You're spending time with them. You're preparing them. You are guiding them and helping them to not make some of the mistakes you've made. Now, that is a huge investment. Some might look at you and say, well, your life is boring and, you acting too old school, come and have fun. But see, you've prioritized, though. You've chosen something else over everything else. Some of you to the point wherein you refuse to even get into a relationship or be with someone else because you want to focus your time. Again, that was your choice. You want to focus your time on your children to make sure that they're protected, to make sure their well-being is number one, to make sure they have what they need. You're working, you're picking up extra shifts. Some of you are even working in places that you wouldn't normally work. It doesn't make any sense, but you have to do everything you can to keep them. So you see, you are making an investment at a younger age. So that is integrity. But also integrity can be viewed as, for some people, as acceptance, a sense of wholeness where people feel that, I've done my part, I've done my part, I've done what is right. Now I think I can die in peace, or I can rest in peace, or whatever it is. Or I'm at this old age now, I don't need to worry about a lot of things. I put things in perspective. I put everything together in this country. As you can see in the West, people who are fulfilled, they leave a will, they leave other things for the children, so that when they're passing on, they already laid everything down and know what's up. All they're doing now, they're living their old age life, chilling, having a good time, being fulfilled, watching the children, because of the work they've done, the things that they've laid out for the children. So all these different things. So integrity also could mean lack of regret. It could mean a feeling of peace, the sense of success. But most importantly, it could also mean having the feeling of wisdom and acceptance. So I'm not talking about quote unquote maybe the wisdom that some of us think about in terms of maybe the context of certain countries wherein when you're old, automatically you're wise. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Trust me, I've seen older men who've made some very bad decisions in their life. And when you look at their lives, currently somebody might say, well, you're being judgmental, but that's just the truth. It has nothing to do with judgment. It is the truth. The truth is some people made some bad choices while they were younger. Some older people, while they're still older, they're making some bad choices after today. There's some older people that are making some bad choices, and some bad decisions. So that's not wisdom. That's not being wise, but that's integrity for you. So what are some of the benefits of integrity? Because everything we do must have benefit. Everything we do must have some kind of benefit. And it's critically important for you to look through the benefit. We call them pros and cons. It's important for you to look through the pros. How do they benefit you? Why integrity though? why focus on the whole integrity thing? So one of the reasons some of the reasons integrity is very important, or some of the benefits of integrity would include there's something called ego integrity. Ego integrity means, you feel successful. You successfully resolving crisis. I mean, you help your community. You help people resolve crisis as opposed to being, you're solving problems as opposed to being the problem. So you get out of the drama queen, the drama king. You're now on Facebook or on other places causing people, creating chaos and problems for people. So successfully resolving crisis at this stage can lead to, it can help. It can help in this development stage. So people can reference you, people can refer to you, people can come to you. Again, that's part of where the wisdom part comes in. But not only that, you can benefit society. Society can learn from you. You can contribute to society. There are some older people that are retired now. They don't do much. They just sit on boards. Some of them different boards, as consultants. They make money. They don't have to do much, but their experiences, the work that they've done, help them, and they can also help. People go to them to seek advice, go to them to seek guidance, and so forth. So, but also, some of the benefit in this stage could be, you have a peaceful fulfillment. You have peace, and also you have fulfillment. People can look back at their life with a sense of contentment and face the end of life with a sense of wisdom and no regrets. That's truth. People can have benefits in integrity. There are benefits in integrity. There are benefits. Don't let nobody fool you say, oh, there's no benefit. There are benefits in integrity. The sense of wisdom, wisdom here is defined also as an informed and detached concern with life, even in the face of death. You know what's up. You're not leaving your children or your name on earth. People are remembering you for the goods and the things that you contributed to lives and to help people, as opposed to soon your name is called, somewhere people start to, hiss the teeth or say other negative things about you. What is your contribution? What can we look back to on? So those who feel proud of their accomplishment will feel a sense of integrity. Successful completing this phase means you're looking back with few regrets and a general feeling of satisfaction. These individuals will attain wisdom even when confronting death. So at this stage, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You took care of business. You did what you had to do. Some people say you did your thing. People can use your name as an example to help. But let's move forward. So what are some factors that could contribute to integrity? So maybe you are thinking, what are some things that I can do to help, whether that bring integrity or contribute to integrity? What are some factors? What are some things that you can do? Maybe you said to yourself, I've lived all my life and I don't think I have integrity or whatever it is. What can I do? So some of the things you must start with, first of all, it has to start from the root, which is your family. At some point, we'll dive into this support system. Let me tell you something. Everything and most things we do, most of our problems came from family. It came from the family, our origin, our root, where you're from. The family in the context of your mom, your pa, the place you grew up, or the people that care for you, your environment, your culture. Trace most of your problems, that's where it came from. Even the way you act, the way you live, the way you behave is a reflection of how you grew up, the family you come from, and so forth. It's a reflection of it. It is. And so it's important for us to understand some of these things. So having supportive relationships is an important aspect of developing of integrity and wisdom. Again, I can't sound this enough. Some of you can curse your mom, curse your pa, fire your mom, fire your pa, you leave the house, you fire everybody in your family, you don't disrespect everybody, you don't care. Your family member, everybody afraid of you. No relationship in the family. You don't talk to people in your family. Some of you say, I don't talk to my poor them for 20 years. I don't talk to them for 30 years. Since I left that woman house, I'm going back to that house. So, you know, it was sickening to hear her younger lady call her mom and use the B word. I actually termed her mom. I was shocked, you know. So, but again, these are basic, important things that must be done. You know, again, support system, having that foundation is very important. You know, keeping a relationship, maintaining a relationship with your family and your people. They're vital. They're vital to developing integrity. Very, very, again, you might not agree with everybody in your family. You might not agree with everyone. You might not have the best of relationships, but at least do your best to maintain some kind of relationship, some kind of communication, or so forth with them. So another thing also that can help with integrity is work. I know I can't stress this enough. It's work. Do something. Be useful. Contribute to society. People who feel a sense of pride in their work and accomplishments are more likely to experience feeling of fulfillment at this stage of life. To some of our Liberian people, especially to the men, please stop. Sycophancy, praise singing, relying on your friend men, relying on women to pay your bills, to take care of you, you know, begging your friend men, or you know, doing things that will make you look funny. When people even look at it, you know, it creates a funny image of you. It will impact or it will affect your integrity. This is serious. This is very serious. Compromising yourself, your values, and the values of other people, going beyond people and taking money here, collecting small bribe here, doing all of these things. Again, make an honest living. If you have to sweep the floor, sweep the floor. If you have to, you know, I don't know, the least job in this country, as long as it's legit, be proud of it. Be proud of what you do. Your honest living and earning helps your integrity. I'm being very honest. I can't stress this enough. And this is what we need to do as opposed to selling ourselves. Go find a job. To some of the women, especially those of us from Liberia, to some of the women, I want to be clear about it. Stop keeping that grown man that has all his paperwork, that can work, nothing wrong with him. Stop keeping him in the house and thinking that you're protecting him. Stop babysitting him. Let him go get a job. Let him grow up and be a man. Let him do that. Encourage him to do that. If you truly love him, encourage him to do that. Let him take some responsibilities. Let him pay some bills. If possible, let him pay the bill in the house. I mean, I'm just saying. Let him play his part. That is not love. Again, that is not love. The men, get to work. Get a job. Keep a job. Wake up. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Dressing cute with different labels and different name brands does not, without a job or without any integrity, does not make you a man. It doesn't. It doesn't. On some real note, it does not. Get you a job. It's a sense of pride. Stop sucking up to your friend men so that, you know, because they'll put something in your pocket or they'll use. How do you feel? It takes away your sense of integrity. It does. It does. So getting work is important. Another thing that could also help you with your integrity is contributions. You must contribute. They won't relate to all of us. Let's learn to contribute to things. Some of you are even in your community, the community you live in, contribution to even register you as part of the community. No way. You're not registered in the community. Nobody knows you in the community. The day they pay $5 to register, you may plow away, but you can use $5 to do all kind of different things. Some of you, the churches that you are in, you're in the women department. You have never contributed anything there. The children, you never contribute there. The church itself, even when you go hang out with your friends, everybody must buy that. Give it to you. You sit there, how do you feel? You don't contribute to nothing. You don't contribute at all. You are just, you just isolate yourself. You make yourself feel like you're not important. But in essence, you have a lot to contribute though. Even in the community, even when dealing with other people, when you just go by the flow, but you have a lot to contribute. So those who reach this stage, feeling that they have made valuable contributions to the word, are more likely to achieve sense of integrity. This often involves contributing to things that will last them through their children, friendship, mentorship, work, and community. Contribute to your community wherever you live. Do something positive. Now, listen, I'm not saying contribute in a way that you become the clown of the town or other people are using you as a stooge. I'm not saying that. I'm saying contribute positively. I'm not saying other people are using you as the entertainment, especially entertainment in a negative context. I'm not saying that. So contribution can help your sense of integrity. I beg you, when you go and hang out with your friend at this time, carry money too. You've been forgetting about your wallet, your purse, your bank card for so long. Contribute to the outing, contribute to the place you're going, When somebody buys something for you to drink, let me be on that list too. Come on now. Let me be there. The people who are contributing, contribution is very important. It's very, very important. It brings about, integrity. So these are some of the ways but let's move forward. How to improve or enhance your integrity. There are things you can do to improve or enhance your integrity. So what are some things that we need to do to improve or enhance our integrity? First of all, we need to start early. Some will procrastinate. The things that you do during middle age will play a role in your feeling about life as you age. Focus on doing things that will support your emotional wellness as you grow older. This is plain and clear. Start early. Start taking care of yourself. Start taking care of yourself. I'm going to say something very interesting here. Some people might take it personal, but that's fine. Some people might get mad at me too. That's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with getting mad. It's just what you do when you're mad. At this stage, you're not investing in 401k or even paying taxes does not make you smart when you're younger and you're working. You have to do that. Taking all that extra 200, 300 that you're supposed to be investing while you're still 20, 30, 40s and working, when you put that money together after 20 or 15 years, they amount to a large sum of money that can benefit you when you're older. Stop taking it and buying the newest shoes or the newest bag or the newest wig or whatever it is. Start investing. Start early. Start investing in your health. Start right now. Start investing in your health. Your health is very important. That means stop putting things in your body that are not supposed to be there. Stop the drinking. I say some of you will get mad at me. That's fine. Stop the drinking. Stop the smoking. That is not fun. That is not having a good time. You can have a good time with all these things. You can. Yes, you can do that. And I'm not here to dictate to you you're grown. But I'm here to tell you that when you start early, it helps. Start investing in things that will help you, such as your children. Start saving something for the college or whatever it is. We need to do that, all of us. We need to get involved with those things. Stop prioritizing some temporary things. Start focusing on things that will help you, that will help your emotional well-being. Start to invest in long-term things that will help you down the line. That includes start mending your relationships with other people and your family members. Start it. If it causes you to go back and apologize to your mom or your papa for cussing them and leaving the house, go do that. Go gather people and do that. It would help. At some point, you will need that support system to help you. This thing is a puzzle. This is not mutually exclusive. You are not an island. So start doing these things. Another thing also that you can do to enhance your integrity or improve your integrity would be seek meaningful relationships. Do it. Seek meaningful relationships. So that meaningful relationship means a lot of different things. Now, please don't restrict this or keep this to just being married, no, or being single, or being divorced, or being separated, no, or being engaged. That's not what this conversation is all about. That is not what this conversation is about. Seek meaningful relationships. High quality relationship with people who care about you and who care about how important you are. These are the relationships you want to seek. High quality relationships. Start seeking high quality relationships. Stop settling, for just anything or anybody. High quality relationship. But that will also mean that at some point, you yourself will have to raise up your standard and be high quality as well. So you see how it works. Start seeking high quality relationships. People who care about you. You know when somebody cares. You know when somebody cares about you. You do. Especially as grown-ups, we know. But we also know when people don't care about us. It is just our ability to be able to still pursue or seek those things that make a difference. So another thing that we can do to improve or enhance our integrity is reframe. Reframe your thinking. Reframe your thinking. Reframe your thinking. So what does that mean? Rather than reminiscing over regrets or wishing you can change the past, focus on reframing how you think about those events. So how about you focus on those events now and think about where you are now in the present moment? Where you are now. How about thinking that way? How about thinking about what can be done now? Think about now while you're still healthy, strong. Think about some of the mistakes that you made, whether they're in selection of relationships or people you hang out with or whatever it is. How about reframing your thought and saying, okay, I'm going to look into my choices of men or my choices of women. So let's take, for example, I'll put it for the women. I'll just give this for the women. Reframing your thought. Maybe if you are interested in DJ, and maybe the DJ didn't let you down, maybe it's time for you to walk away from DJ and stop looking at DJ department. I'm just saying, maybe you need to look into high quality men and start seeing yourself as low, start having that mindset of low self-esteem that this person will not look at me this way. How about now you start looking into, people that would emotionally help you, that would create that balance, that would bring substance. Again, high quality. How about looking into that? How about setting your standard now wherein you're now settling for popcorn boys, or the temporary excitement, but rather you're focusing on people of substance, things of substance, because these things will evidently pay out at some point. They will yield some kind of dividend. They will provide something to help. So how about reframing your association? Like I said earlier, maybe all your life you're attracted to, I don't want to use the word bad boys because bad is a relative word, but maybe all your life you're attracted to just a certain group of men. How about you reframe your thought or your choices of relationship, as opposed to saying all men are useless and all men are not like this, Labrin men are like this, or Labrin men are not like this, or Labrin. How about you look in the choices of the Labrin? Because if you start to say that, then the question that comes to mind is, okay, what kind of Labrin men are you looking at? Let's bring it into context. Let's look at it. So reframing your thinking is very important as to help your integrity. It's very, very important. It enhances your integrity. Reframing how you think, reframing your choices. Very, very important at this stage of your life, where you are now. Start making that decision, because you might not be as hot or as sexy when you are 65 or older. So you might not have that luxury of making those choices anymore. You might not even have the strength. So as you are now, start thinking about those choices that you're making, whether it's in relationships, even the friends that you hang out with, the casual friendship that you're in, or the mutual friendships that you're in. Start thinking, what do those people bring to the table? What value do they bring to your life? Apart from drama and you getting into one cussing for another, or some kind of little gossip here and there. What do they bring? Let me put it this way. What do you guys have in common? Yes. What do you guys have in common that's still keeping that friendship? Is it for them to call you to gossip about you, to gossip about somebody else, and you sit there and enhance it, or you have a mutual enemy, so you're friends? So you need to start thinking about all of these things as to enhance your integrity, because those things will only bring noise around you. Those people will only bring noise, and they will impact and affect your integrity. They will. Or is it the friends that you hang out with? Are they just your party buddy? Or might just go to the club, or might just go to the party? So all of these different things are things that people need to start thinking about. So the last part of how to enhance your integrity, the last part of this is you must practice. So you must practice gratitude. So that means, in other words, you got to focus on positive aspect of your life rather than paying excessive attention to negativity. So yes, you must practice gratitude. When I was talking to someone these few days, and I was telling this person called, they had a breakdown, and this person was very concerned and worried about how things not going okay in their life, how they don't think God like them, and why they got to be going through all of this, why they got to be going through all of that, and other people things are going well for them. So I told the person to take a pause. So I asked the person, I said, okay, these things are going on right now, but here's my question to you. Are there things that you can think about that went well or that are going well for you? Oh, nothing, man. Not really. Nothing, man. Not really. I said, okay. I said, then let's go down the list and see one or two things. I asked the person this question. So, is your rent paid? The person said yes. Is your car note paid? The person said yes. Are your children sick? No. Are your children okay? Yes, my children are okay. Okay. Are your family back home okay? Yes. And my mother here, my mother is doing very well. She's not sick. Thank God for that. I said, okay. So I said, so you got some positive things going on. Oh, I didn't think about it that way. Well, we have to start thinking about it that way, because that's how life is. Everything will not fall in place at once for it to work for you, but we have to be able to look at some positivity that's going on in our life, though. Do you know how many children are sick in the hospital? that they can't even go to work because they have to be with them in the hospital. And your children are well, they're going to school. But not even that, let's look at you personally. Do you know how many people born in this country are homeless? When you look at it, when you go to the bus stop and other places, do you know how many people, that are well off, that are not well off? Even people that, I give you an example. I want you, when you're driving in your car, to look at the bus stop. Just look at the bus stop. Look right and left. See people who were born here, raised here, don't even have a car to drive. They gotta be catching a bus. You have a car. Some of you own homes or own a home. Some of you have paid off your cars. You say there is nothing yet for you to be grateful about? Come on now. There's nothing yet for you to appreciate yourself about. Some of you have been able to maintain your job. Do you know how many people can keep a job? Some of you got your children. So there's a lot of things that you can be grateful about. Some of you go to the hospital to do your checkup. The doctor don't even call you. You got to call them to find out, what the results are. And they don't call you because there is nothing going on. You are well, you are healthy. Some of these little things. You wake up, you see your children, they're doing well. You are able to still have a place to live. You pay your rent. You are on time. Some of you have very good credit score. Some of you are working on your credit score. So some of these little things, you must appreciate yourself for them. Some of these little things, you must appreciate yourself for them. Yes, especially in the winter, in these cold states. You see people at the bus stop. Think about the homelessness. The other morning, I was walking because I normally do these morning walks. I was walking, and I realized that the level of homelessness in this country is increasing. It's increasing. People got these different shopping carts, and they're sleeping in the street. But you got a place that you can come home to. You got food. You're still right in your mind. Some people have lost their mind. All of these different things. All of these different things. You can afford something if you want it today because you have a job. Some of you have the education, you have promotion on your job, you have connection. Some of you right now, when you open your account, at least it's not in minus. You have something there. Yes. Some of you, to the extent that you can even be of a blessing to somebody back home. You can send them money. So you see, all of these different factors must come into play. You must understand that, these things can enhance your integrity. Yes, it's okay to take pride in the work that you've done, some of the things that you've done. Give yourself some credit. Nothing wrong with that. You will not die. Yeah, you will not die if you appreciate yourself and give yourself some credits. You will not. These things should be part of your assessment of you to enhance your integrity. I'm not saying go around, be proud, pompous, disrespectful, boastful, rude, but sometimes sit and reflect on your accomplishment at your age. Some of you, your mom, your pa, they never ever reach that stage in their life. And you know how you struggle. But here you are. When your children tell you they want McDonald's right now, you can drive them there. You can drive them there. You don't have to scratch your head. You don't have to call their pa. You don't have to call their mom. You don't have to call grandma, grandpa. You don't have to call nobody. You can take them there. When your children say, I won't go out to eat, you are able to take them out to eat. But I want to stop here for today. Next week, we'll talk about despair, as you can see on there. And next week, we will close up this session. I will be starting a brand new session wherein we'll be inviting other people to join us on the set. I don't know if you have any question or any concern, feel free. Today, I will not put the number up. Feel free if you have any question or any concern, to please put it in the chat room. Let me say the chat room on the live feed. Please put it on the live feed and we'll answer your question or we'll address your concerns. Please, you can just throw it on the live feed But yes, so some of these things we got to be, we got to think about them. We have to. We have to think about them. We have to process some of these things. Some of these, you might term it as little accomplishment or whatever it is, but they come a long way. Not too many people are where you are. So, any question, any concern, and I'll give the announcement and be out of here for the day. Any question or any concern? And I would give the announcement and be out of here for the rest of the day and the weekend. Put in the live feed or chat, and we'll go from there. Any question, any concern? Well, if not, then I'll start working my way towards the announcement. I did not intend to be on here today for a long time. Still don't feel too good, but don't feel too well. But we're getting there. We're not 100%, but we are getting there. Little by little, we are getting there. So we just wanted to inform you and let you know about it. We are getting there. And thanks to you who reached out after the accident, were involved in an accident. Thank you so much. Those of you who prayed with us and for us, thank you too. We appreciate your prayers, your concerns, your love, and your support in this time. Thank you. Any question, any concern? Because we are about to leave. Okay. So let's give the announcement tomorrow. Next week we'll be on, just so you know, by the grace of God, all factors staying constant, will be on. 2 weeks from now in Arizona, we'll be having our inauguration. We want to invite all of you to Phoenix the weekend of the 21st. We'll be here. It's a 3 days program. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it starts on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd of May. So it's an open invitation. You're welcome. Welcome to all of you. We'll be having an inauguration here for the Liberian Association of Arizona. We will. All of you are welcome. Every one of you, you are very, very welcome. We'd love to see you in person. I will be here. Some of you will say I can dance. I will be dancing. But tomorrow we'll be on politics, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Please tune in, same station, SKTV. We will be talking about everything in Liberia. So tomorrow we'll be on. Please tune in. Please, please, and please, and please, and please. Please tune in. Very important. Very, very important. Please tune in tomorrow. We have a lot to talk about tomorrow in terms of politics. You do not want to miss tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be discussing a lot of things. Siku will be here. Tel will be here. I will be here. We'll be talking about most recent things that are happening in Liberian politics, why they're happening. We'll talk about them. We'll go back into history about some things that happened. We'll talk about them. What else? But I want to welcome all of you. All of you want to welcome you to Arizona for our inauguration. Sunday, we should have Councillor Chawan Gonglu on here as our guest. So tomorrow, tune in. Let's have a good weekend. Stay out of trouble. And thank you so much for being with us. Thank you and thank you. Have a good weekend. We own no copyright to this song.